Well, had an interesting day today. As I've been going through a lot of things, talking about auctions and all that other fun stuff. I was looking to get an FR-8 rifle to go with my Set Me See and do some video side to side with them, the two of them together. And I was looking and putting in bids and stuff, and they're quite expensive. They go for a lot of money, no matter how you buy them. That's where I got my experience with the different auction sites on doing this. And I just acquired, there's 4 rifles I acquired. I acquired 3 FR-8s, and yeah, that's an FR-7 at the bottom. Now the way I acquired them, because I like to go all in sometimes and get a little whacked out. So I acquired the 4 guns, and they all arrived within 3 days of each other because of the snowstorm delayed the shipping of the first one. 2 of them were from the same auction, and they got here quickly. And by chance, I ran across a 7 because I really didn't want to deal with Hunter's Lodge and the bullshit and God knows what. And I also did not want to buy a busted FR-8 with a mismatched bolt or anything like that. Every single one of these guns got a matching bolt. So I'm also running behind. There's a couple guns I got to test. There's some reloads I want to get tested. A lot of work to get done here, and some of it will be for guns like this, and that 5.7 pistol. I'd like to try that out. But I've been kind of behind with the weather and shit and stuff, keeping me from going. It's still freezing cold in the morning, and that's when I like going. So I got these guns in, and I was just doing a basic cleanup and that, and then I had to go do something else. So I've been pretty busy and hectic. So I started looking at them, and we're not going to go into the history or anything. If you do, put it down in the comment section, and I'll do a close-up of the guns. But just going through them, I'm looking at them, and I was, just checking them out, going to clean them up, and I noticed the sights. So I'm trying the sights out, and I noticed one of them, it's the peep and everything, it's awful difficult to see anything. Okay, worse than the Set Me See. I mean, the Set Me See is bad enough. This here I thought would be a little bit better. So as I'm going through the guns, I notice that the way the rear sight is mounted on some of the guns is one way, and some of the guns it's reversed. 2 of them are mounted one way, 2 are mounted another way. And I don't know which way is right. I thought on one gun that it was backwards. So I got a crash course in taking that sight disc out of the rifle. So instead of getting all bent out of shape, now I was upset because I really didn't know what's going on. I've never handled one of these guns close up. I've never taken the time to realize that the rear sight is 2 different ways, and just not knowing. Never handling one, never looking closely at one. I just got 4 of them, all at once. And a little confused, and went doing a lot of searching for videos and everything else. And I don't know. So if somebody out there knows a little bit more than me, please put something down in the comment section. Now, we're going to go take a look at what the hell is going on here. Alright, the one at the top is the FR-8 that I got, and realized that, all the fees and that was a little bit more than I bargained for. And this is another FR-8. I got 2 of these. One of them is disassembled. Okay, and these I consider fairly reasonable compared to what I see them go for. And this is a FR-7. I did pay a bit more than what Hunter's Lodge is asking, but I got the gun in a matter of a week. Okay, with no screwing around, wondering what that was going to send me or anything. And like I said, all of these weapons came in halfway decent shape with matching bolts. Now, we all know the front sight deal in this here, the little cleaning kit and everything. Now let's look at the rear sight on gun number 1. Now do you notice how the thin side of that sight is to the back, the wide side is to the front, and if you look here, there's a head of a rivet, I don't know if you can see it, and a screw in here. Now the two guns I got that were both FR-8s, that sight's reversed. The wide part is to the back. The thin part with the head of the rivet and screws on the inside. Okay? So you see which one is right, which one is wrong. Now the FR-7 has it thin part to the back, wide part to the front. Okay, and this was driving me crazy. We'll go over and look at this other one. Okay, now this one here I disassembled. And this gun's pretty strange. It doesn't look like it was used much. It's like brand new. I mean, the trigger guard is fitted to the stock real tight. Got brand new wood on it. And interestingly about this, when I was examining the stock, you see right there, somebody put a piece of laminate or something to kind of push the barrel up. So somebody tried accurizing this gun. I haven't pulled the stocks off the other ones to see if anything was done like that. But now this one too, this is a close look. Wish the light was better. Wide part to the back, thin part to the front. I'm going to move this over and get some better light. Alright, but anyway, we're trying to get something going here. But you see, wide to the back, thin to the front. And what you would end up with is this hole pattern, the notch and the small holes and the detents. There's two little sets of small holes. Some are the peeps and some are the detents. Okay, and that is what you're looking at from the back of the gun when you go to sight it in. Now the front, which has the two holes in there, you see a threaded hole in the center hole that the rivet that goes in it holds that in there. And what you would have on that side, alright, what you see here is that face you see with the detents and detent holes and the peep holes in there. That side faces the thick side, okay? And how this sight works is on the thin side, you'll see, I'll try to get a close-up of it, but on the thin side, those counter bores are where the peep sight is, the notch sight's there, and that little U-shaped circle is, if you look at that sight, you'll see there's a screw. And the screw goes down into that little U-shaped groove, and when you rotate it, it stops. Okay? That's the purpose of that. But I've found that if this sight is reversed, at least for me, I can see through the peepholes a little bit better than this way. So my question is, now that I know how the sight works, and that is a rivet that goes through there, so when you try to remove it, it's destroyed. I have to get something else to get this sight back on. I'll come up with a solution. But my question is, which is the right way for these sights to be on the gun? There's two different ways of doing it. And I don't know which one's correct. Now that everybody got a crash course on the internals of these rear sights, I'll go over it. All right, this is one that I believe has the thin side on there, and you can see the head of the rivet and where a little screw is. If you take that little screw out, that's what runs in that horseshoe and keeps the sight from rotating all the way out, because I believe the detent is on this side, the thick side. There's a spring and a ball, and probably like when I was spinning it around to come out, probably what you would do is before you put the screw in, there's a way you could set this when this is mounted and then get it to where it works, and the screw is what keeps it rotating, like I showed you, a little U. I thought it was just a matter of turning the thing around. No, it's not. So this one in the back, look, if I line it up with the open notch, I can see it fairly well. I get a good sight picture. Gonna go to this. Now remember, you see those, just instead of a flat peep, there's that cone like. I just see the blade. Kind of maybe one way or the other, don't matter. You don't see the hood with that first one. Okay. Try the second one. And again, you see the blade. Now you see part of the hood, and I guess each one is going up further. Again, sure it locks. Again, you just see the front sight post. I guess you center that. I guess this one all the way on the other side. Yeah. And now you see with that 400 meter thing that you see the top of that lining up with the detent. So it's 1, 2, 3 one way, and then this, turn it, it's 4. So when this thing is mounted on the back, backwards, okay, this kind of may work, may not, but it's difficult, okay? And when you rotate this way, it's just one, so it's reverse. Now you're on the 400 sight, and all you do is just see that one little peep without no, you can see it. Maybe it will work in reverse, And then, so that would be 200 meters. 300, yeah. So yeah, maybe it will. I'll take them out, try them both ways. I may have been mistaken, but at least I know how the sight works now, okay? And same with the FR-7 is the same. So I guess what I'm going to do is just try to go out, take these two, and try the sights both ways and see what works. And another thing, I've kept track of a lot of these guns on the online auctions, when the auctions close, and I went back and looked at several of them, and almost all of them are set up with the wider part of the sight to the rear, okay? Very few of them I see with the narrow part, so I'm a bit confused. I kind of think it should go the way with the narrower part to the rear, okay? But I don't know, it looks like a lot of these guns were mounted, had the sight mounted in reverse. I'll just do some experimentation, and that's about the only way I can tell what's right or wrong. But if you guys have noticed this, or anybody knows, does it matter? Could they go either way? I don't know. Okay, but I'd be curious. So we'll take them out and give them a try and see how they shoot both ways. Alright, hit the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned.